Hello guys, going to be going over the MLB PrizePicks slate for Monday, July 25th. We do have 12 games on the slate, but there are 3 that have rain in the forecast. So if we're going to be taking any overs here, I do have some from these 3 games. I wouldn't recommend taking them right now, but just know that we're going to need to check back for the weather. If you are a DFS member, we do have a PrizePicks, or we have a PrizePicks channel, but also an MLB weather channel, where of course that's something that you guys can utilize with our guy Mark, who is focused on the weather, solely focused on it. So I looked into these 3 games. I'm totally not, I'm no weatherman, so I'm not sure how these games are going to go, but just keep an eye on this, because I would say if these games were going to be in perfect conditions, I would be picking some of these guys for sure on underdog as well. So kind of sucks right now, but there is one play here that it's going to be an under from that Boston-Cleveland game. Yes, there is possibility for maybe an in-game delay or a postponement, but at least PPD means it's a refund, and if it's an in-game delay, it's good for us when we're taking an under, especially for a pitcher, because pitchers are probably just going to be pulled if it's a long enough delay. And Nick Pavetta, I think at 30.5, this is just too high of a number. This is not influenced by the weather. If this was in perfect conditions, I would still be taking Pavetta's under here. For one, Cleveland, they're a good offense against right-handed pitchers. Take a look at where they are overall this season on the road against right-handed pitchers. They are 4th in WRC Plus at 114. Their K percentage ranks 2nd lowest. This was actually even lower, but they do have some guys who do strike out, like Framil Reyes. He's back in the lineup. He's a very high K guy, but of course he can also just do a lot of damage. He has a lot of hard hits, and Pavetta does allow a ton of hard hits, so it's kind of just like a pros and cons thing that Reyes, if he's in the lineup, he can definitely do damage, but also he might give Pavetta a strikeout or 2. And for this, again, Pavetta, looking at his numbers, game logs, like he is really struggling his past 3 starts. Tampa Bay, not even good offense. The Yankees twice. The Guardians, they're a very pesky team. They don't have the same kind of offense as the Yankees, but they do not strike out a lot, as you can see with the numbers there. And Pavetta's just been struggling. His numbers indicate that he's just not that great of a pitcher. I think in a line at 30.5, it is too high. And then you add in the possibility of a weather cutting his day short. That's just another plus. So if you want to take this, perfectly fine with it. Pitcher unders in rain games are definitely okay. And on the other side, because if I'm liking the under on Pavetta, definitely going to be liking the hitting side. So Steven Kwan at 5.5, I like this one for an over. If you're looking for to capitalize on Nick Pavetta's base running issues, holding base runners, Rosario and J-Ram do steal, but of course their projections are going to be a bit higher. And Rosario, he hasn't been the greatest hitter, so I'm okay with J-Ram. Steven Kwan, though, at 5.5, he's the leadoff hitter, been doing that for a while now. He just gets on base. He will walk at a high rate, and if he's going to be able to get on base, for Pavetta, who allows, a ton of hits, a ton of runs, probably is going to mean that the guys behind him, Rosario, J-Ram, Naylor, Reyes, they will be able to drive in Kwan. So at 5.5, I think this number should definitely be at 6.5, but again, do not be locking in this over already, because we don't know if this game is going to be able to play the full 9 innings. And on to total bases, there's actually several that I'm just watching. So, again, you have J-Ram there, but the Oakland Athletics, they're going to be facing off against Jake Odorizzi for the 3rd time. This is Odorizzi's 3rd consecutive start against the A's, which is kind of ridiculous, but that definitely does favor the hitting side. Now, this Oakland A's team is very bad, and their lineup is just all over the place, really. If they just added the board flash, and I was like, what happened? Nolan Jones, I think at 0.5 total bases looks really good, so I would consider him. But going back to the A's, so Tony Kemp used to be a leadoff hitter against righties, but now he's batting 8th. And then Piscotty, Nick Allen, Sky Bolt, these are all guys that I think they could definitely get a single. But But just the thing is, like, we don't know what the lineup is. If they get back kind of like high in the order or towards the middle, like 5th at least, I would like it for the overs for these guys, because Odorizzi, when you see the same pitcher 3 times in a row in a short span, it's gonna favor the hitting. So this is a revisit once we get the lineup. And the one play though is Josh Smith. This is also dependent on the lineup. Taking on Chris Flexen, they added some more. I'll take a look after this one. For Smith, when the Rangers are playing against a righty, they will bat Smith leadoff, but they didn't do so recently. So I don't know if it's like permanent or what's going on. But Josh Smith, if he's gonna bat leadoff, he could potentially get 5 at bats. So that's the one thing that I would like about this guy. They also are going to be the road team, so you do get that 9th inning. And Flexen's just not a guy that will strike guys out. Projected wise, he is going to be batting first, so we don't really know because the projections here, I mean, like Merrill Kelly is not starting. It's Tyler Gilbert, so we have to really check back on this one. But if he is leading off, this will be a play for the over. And then what did they add? The Red Sox. Yeah, not really interested in those for right now. Again, just the rain. Hits and walks. This is another rain one. Kind of just frustrating with how the weather is today. But Dansby Swanson at 1.5 hits and walks. I like the over on this one. Ranger Suarez going to be making his second start back from injury. He walks a lot of guys. He's in the 33rd percentile for walks. Doesn't strike guys out. Expected batting average is pretty high. So for a guy like Swanson, who does walk at a good enough rate, I know he didn't hit for us earlier or on Sunday, but they're getting a match against another lefty, and this one, Suarez really has not been that great. He's underperformed this season. Swanson's been a very solid hitter, hitting in the 2 spots, so gonna be able to get a lot of at-bats. And if this game can play without issues, the wind is going to be blowing out. So that's going to be another plus for the hitting. 11 miles, 81 degrees as well. So I do like this one quite a bit. And the favorite play right now, I would say it's going to be Brandon Drury at 0.5 runs and RBIs. Taking the over. Going to pull up Trevor Rogers' numbers. Rogers is also just someone that has underperformed. He's going to be pitching in Cincinnati, which is a big downgrade for him, going from Miami to Cincy. And Rogers, he's just not really been great. He's a young pitcher, top pick, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to have a good outing, but it's a lefty-righty matchup. There's going to be a ton of righties here in the Reds lineup. And looking at Rogers this season, he's just not been that great. Fastball, changeup, slider only. And Drury, he's been crushing lefties. 326 batting average. So many, just a lot more power when he's able to face left-handed pitchers. Home and away splits are pretty significant as well. And then matching up the pitches. So as a fastball, changeup, and slider. 3-run value, 7-run value, 7-run value. So the best 3 pitches that Drury hits are the 3 pitches that Rogers throws. So it is perfect. I prefer this one than the 7.5 because Drury does not run. So I think if he's going to be able to hit 7.5, he probably got a runner RBI in there. So that's why I do like this one over the fantasy score. And then Garrett Cooper, I think this one's a personal play right now. I think Nick Lodolo is a very solid pitcher, but you can't ignore the fact that this is just a big hitting upgrade for the Marlins. And Cooper is going to be the 2-hitter. Their offense is pretty bad, honestly, right now. But again, it's the ballpark, the hitting conditions, 81 degrees, 6-mile winds blowing out. It is a launch pad in Cincy. It's July. You're going to see a lot more hitting weather games, basically better hitting conditions as we really do enter the summer here. We're already in summer, but just the way that baseball works, So I do like Cooper, even though the matchup against Lodolo might not be the best, but I would say it's good enough for it to be at least a personal play for me. And here's one, also a personal play, because we don't know how long the leash is for Ranger Suarez. 92.5 pitches. He only made 64 for his first game back. This is going to be, I think, 9 days because of the All-Star break since that last start. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to be stretched out close to 90. But I feel like this number is probably too high. Like maybe 85 is where I would expect him to be at. You know, a 9-day rest, maybe that's long enough for Suarez to just throw almost 30 more pitches in a start. But you also do add in fact that maybe he could struggle here. There's also the rain that could cut his days short. So there are a lot of factors in that. Suarez, it might just make him go under this one for the same reasons. I think fantasy score is possibly another under that I'm interested in, but this is just one. Again, we need to check the weather. We need to check if the manager's going to say anything about it. So a lot of games where we just can't really lock in these picks, but I would say Drury is going to be that guy. If you want to do Cooper with him, because that's only the game that I do have plays that I'm confident in, or at least that they are going to be playing without issues. So that's going to be what the plays are going to be for right now. But yeah, we just have to keep an eye on the weather for a lot of these plays. So kind of an annoying slate for this Monday. A lot of games, but we might actually not have all 12 games. For stolen base targets, this one really hurt actually. Noah Syndergaard's pitching, and you know how I always targeted him. But Bobby Witt, he did leave the game on Sunday, didn't return. So unfortunately, we probably won't have him in the lineup. With Merrifield, he's a base stealer, but he's just really not hitting the ball well. So I don't really feel comfortable when it's at 8.5. Jake Junis, Nick Pavetta, Trevor Rogers, Corey Kluber, Glenn Otto, Aaron Ashby, Kyle Freeland, Chris Flexen, all guys that are in stolen base spots. So, or all pitchers that do allow stolen bases. But based on the matchups, the hitters, their projections, I really didn't have any that I wanted to target based off of those pitchers. So again, Brandon Drury is going to be the guy for today. Hopefully we do get some clarity, so we do have a lot of time to be able to put in these plays. But that is it for the video for this Monday slate. Kind of gross, but that's what we have here. So thank you guys for watching. Good luck on this slate, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.